Hey everybody, it's been a small while since I've last posted something. Now, I've done a little bit of research and everything, but nothing conclusive to come out with an actual episode. So, what I want to do right now is just post a venting YouTube episode, or at least a podcast episode. And what I want to vent about is what I was looking at on YouTube, or internet, any not just YouTube, but it comes out on a lot of opinionaries and stuff like that, Reddits and Facebook and all these other websites. And I'm listening to a bunch of rhetoric, the same type that we've all been listening to about how the government's been running this country down to destroying itself as far back as World War II, and that the government is setting the U.S. in hell in a handbasket and all this other kind of shit stuff. And all I keep doing is just getting angry. I'm looking at the thing and going boo, and I'm just zapping it, and I couldn't figure out why until just like right now, guys. This stuff about our government being handed to us in hell in a handbasket and all this other crap, that's doomsday prediction crap. And this stuff that I remember from way back in the day when it was on coming out of a form of news called opinion media. Back then it was called tabloids. Okay, you went to the tabloids to look at that stuff, and because technically they were the only ones that were actually doing it. And now it's almost every single opiniontary, even all the way up to the actual media, that stopped doing journalistic research and stuff like that. And I don't blame them, for one, because here I am trying to make a commentary where I've got an opinion on a issue or subject, and sometimes, like, I've got all the knowledge up here, but I'm not really saying it correctly. So I usually have to write it down, and I have to put it on a spiral, and I'm reading it off in order the way I need to, and all this good stuff, in order to post my opinion out there. And again, through my show, which is Common Sense on Common Ground, no matter what the subject. So it's a little difficult, especially when emotions and stuff can interfere. But back to this particular subject, guys, the reason why people out there are saying these guys are just nuts, they might be, but for the most part, they're also shock talking, and shock talking is basically one of the minor forms of tabloid media that has been posted since the time that I was a child, back when you had to read this kind of stuff about how the government's handing it hell in a handbasket. And the difference between then and now, though, here's the thing. Now, it's all at a very serious level, and it's all doing nothing but developing anger out of people, which, as opposed to the tabloids, where it was far more entertaining. It was at a far more entertaining level. One of the cooler ones was like where pictures of a volcano took place, and you could see like marker shadows, the face of Satan, the face of the devil, in the clouds of smoke that puffs up and triangulates out. And there would be shadowing, and you could see clear as day that it was done by somebody with a marker to make it look like a face, of the devil's face in there and stuff, and that went along with, an alien impregnated me. My dog and my cousin got together and married. It went way out there. All the stories went way out there, and it's pretty much like the rhetoric that you're hearing now. How the government is handing. Technically, the government is handing our country to hell in a handbasket. Okay, that's been said since the 1980s when the tabloids were major. You believe it, we'll print it. Okay. The problem with it is that these days, that's all that tabloid media opiniontary is talking about. And it's all in the form of anger, designed to derive anger out of you And me too, but my anger is more out of frustration because it's just not entertaining anymore. You know, it's just not fun. It's not entertaining to watch. It's not entertaining to read. And it's a bunch of person just being nothing but angry and trying to make excuses and sympathy for the devil type mentality for other people of hate that derive anger. Whether it be somebody that wants to say the N word, or people that actually group together to hate black people that they call the N word. Okay? And they're all in the same group now. And it's all backed up through the opiniontary and the hate. And one of those avenues that they're bringing up in order to develop this kind of anger and all this other crap is through that whole government handing us our country to hell in a handbasket, okay, mentality. And that's the sole reason for coming up on this, bringing up this whole thing once again, coming onto the show, despite the fact that I haven't written anything down, despite the fact that I haven't researched. I don't have any names. I don't even know who the hell those people were on my screen, you know. But it was just one after another for the past week, and it's just gotten frustrating. By this time, here on Sunday, I'm broadcasting this on a Sunday, and tomorrow's a brand new work week. So I'm hoping that we can all start fresh, start new, and just remember and blow off all this crap that we've got, especially if we got a job where we got a whole variety of opinions and all this good stuff. If you could remind them that all this rhetoric that they're listening to, all of the stuff that they claim that they know, and that hell in a handbasket being the key words, our country's being headed into hell in a handbasket. I want y'all to remember that what they're doing is listening to modern day tabloid opinions, which is just, you know, it's not fun, it's not entertaining anymore. It's just dumb. You know, how many times have we been hearing this crap? You know, everything from martial law to grooming kids. It's been going on since it's been going on for the past almost 10 years now. Even longer if you count the Obama days, the early 2000s, you know. But technically, this kind of internet media has been more freely usable throughout the past 10 years. Because I can remember the early 2000s where you still needed a modem to your laptop, or, you know, the internet connection through your laptop and not necessarily your phone. I can remember as early as 2009, and only through Apple, where it was possible to get internet the way we have in the form of a smartphone. You know, the rest of the time there was the kind that folded or folded sideways or folded. I remember one of them. I think it was called a razor, where not only unfolded, but it could also unfold sideways, long ways, to where you can read it like a screen, or you can actually lift it up and hold it off at a different angle to use as a camera. And at the same time, you could actually do it to where you could see it on the screen that's on the cover as well as the screen that's on the inside. You know, the razor was pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. But back then, 10 to 12 years ago, that was the major thing. Before 2009, that was the major type of phone. Smartphones were barely getting in there, you know. So from that point on, you had to go to like the Onion or something like that, Green Onion, I think. I personally went through the Vine, I think it was called. I personally went through the Vine to get my opiniontary stuff and talk about politics or whatever. But again, it just went way out there. And it was only a couple of sites. Now it's almost every site. It's almost every opiniontary commentary on YouTube, on Venmo or whatever. I think, no, it's not Venmo. Vivo, I think it's called. Any other place that has permittances for people to post their own comments through video. And it's just gone, you know, and it's not that it's gone crazy, because it hasn't. It's just gone frustratingly negative. Frustratingly negative is a very good way to point it out, because it dampens people's, it lowers people's spirituality. It darkens the heart, so to say, the spiritual side, and it does nothing but develop anger, which does nothing but feed into hate, and that's a problem. So whenever I hear people like that, I haven't heard that lately. I haven't heard that too much lately. One 20-year-old kid a couple of days ago who's just following the same rhetoric right now. He's not really looking into anything. He's just listening to whoever is talking the most, and he's following along the lines of the most repetitive stuff. So, that being said, but yeah, there's senior citizens all the way to some of the young kids that are following the same rhetoric. And then there's key words that our government is being handed to hell in a handbasket. You start hearing the same old crap, and that's how you know those guys are doing nothing but follow. They're not really waking up. They're not looking into anything. They're not really doing any research. They're just following what everybody else says. You see what I'm saying? And that's all based off of this kind of garbage, the subject that I brought up, that's got me on here now. Excuse me. That's all brought up through this hell in a handbasket mentality, words that is nothing but negative, frustrated negativity. It's just sad. And again, the reason why is because this 50-year-old, I'm now 50, and I've been old enough to remember those tabloid days. Then by now, by comparison, today everything opiniontary and all this good stuff just plain sucks. Okay, it's nowhere near as entertaining as it used to be. There's no Satan. Pictures or drawings or any kind of clues and all this other stuff. There's no UFO stuff. There's no ghosts. I probably think because of Elvis, the ghost of Elvis Presley, that it got drawn out. But still, after everybody was tired of it, there's still people that are fan of it. As sure as there's still fan of horror movies and The Sixth Sense and all them, you still got people that believe in ghosts and or at least love to be entertained by ghost stories, UFO stories. I blame Ancient Aliens on this. I think once Ancient Aliens came out saying this might be an alien launch pad, and that might be an alien launch pad, and this might be an alien launch pad. After a while, dude, if that's the only thing that everybody's got, nobody's looking to try to compete against that. So therefore, there's no more incredible stories about aliens and UFOs. So I kind of blame them for that. I hope that everybody can turn away from it, because it's the same old now. And when you got the same old, all that's left is just the negativity, and that's what we're looking at on the internet right now when we see people that do this preaching hate garbage that's going on, that does nothing but bring your spirits down, and you looking at the world in this negative text. Now, don't get me wrong, don't turn away from the negative things, but at the same time, don't turn away from the positive. Okay, there's some stuff that's going on. Okay, let's stick to the government. Okay, remember, we're still spitting on Putin. We're still spitting on Putin for his shit, trying to earn money, trying to have us buy oil off of him when it wasn't even his oil. It wasn't Russian oil. It was stolen Ukrainian oil. It was stolen Croatian oil. It was stolen Kosovo oil. It was stolen Crimean oil. Okay, it was never Russian oil. It's blood oil. And currently our government, the same government that everybody's saying, oh, it's being handed to hell in a handbasket, the current government is giving the middle finger to Putin and Russia and their bullshit claims of their oil, their blood oil. Slaughtered people, defenseless citizens, all the way down to children being killed. For what? for their oil, for their country's oil. Okay? Now, our country spat on them. Okay? Our country spat on Putin. Our country spat on Russian BS oil. And we're toughing things out right now to try to compensate for that. And it's still sort of, I think we've just gotten used to the high price, but nevertheless, we're still moving on. Okay? So again, there's negatives, but there's also positives. So for people to say, oh, nothing good is happening out of this, if you remember through previous posts, there's always going to be one, these are the facts, these are the percentages, and these are the possible results. These are the percentages that lead to the facts, and these are the possible results of the outcomes. And then you look at that very same subject and you go to another media site. These are the facts. No, that's false. They're fake facts. They're false news. These are the percentages. Oh, it's never that high or low, whichever. And these are the possible results. No, nothing good is going to result out of this. Okay, you see the difference. You see the difference between the actual journalistic integrity and some BS bullshit guy that's doing nothing but claiming that the government's going to be, that falls along the same lines as the government's handing this country to hell in a handbasket. You see the difference, okay? Don't forget that there's positives to all this, all right? And remember, you got every reason whenever you start getting frustrated with this negativity to change that channel, to give it a thumbs down, to report it as hate or whatever, misinformation, whatever. Report them. Report them. Why? Well, for the number one reason, because they're hate, but because they're just not entertaining. They're just not as entertaining as they were back in my day. You know, you guys are being shortchanged. You understand? You're being shortchanged of all the great crap that could be brought out that instead is being turned into this hate, this spew, this trigger your anger to form all this hate. You see what I'm saying? You're being shortchanged. So thumbs down on those assholes, okay? Stick with people that speak, I don't know, somebody with common sense, maybe with common ground, somebody like, well, I don't know, you'll figure it out. But yeah, that's the spiel that I had to let out today. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Keep taking care of yourselves. Tomorrow's a brand new work week. Let's start off right. Let's take care. And we'll see you next time. I promise I'm going to get myself a fully scripted report next time, okay? Y'all take care. This is Chris with Chris's Comments signing out.